Hey there, BookTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the page 112 tag. This tag was started by Sean the Book Maniac over on his channel, and he got this idea from a book prize, I think in France, where books are stripped of their identity. The cover, the title, the author's name is removed, and just page 112 is given to the judges. Upon their reading this kind of randomly selected page, they will determine whether this book should be considered as maybe a shortlisted book for the prize. The thought process behind the kind of unique way in which this book prize is judged is that when a book is being edited, a lot of effort goes into making sure that it has a great opening sentence, that there's a hook, that the first page is clean, that everything that you want to convey to the reader right away is done so and it's crisp. But by the time you get to page 100 or 112 in this case, the editing might get a little sloppy. The writer might start yammering on a little bit. And the idea is that if it's a really great book, page 112 should still be really impressive writing. In his tag, Sean suggested that we take 3 books and read just page 112 to determine whether this is a book that we think is going to be well written. And since it is still Nonfiction November, I decided to choose 3 memoirs, and it's a little difficult choosing 3 memoirs that didn't have information that I think would kind of clue you in as to what the book was. What's really interesting is that for the 3 books that I chose, page 112 is the end of a chapter, which means that there's only a short paragraph on that page, which is going to make this, I think, either really easy or really hard. At the end, I'll tell you the books and their authors, but for now, this is book 1. Malachi sits up in the bed. "I don't want it," he says, and I tell him I don't want it either. Dad stands for a minute, swaying, and puts the penny back in his pocket. He turns towards Mom, and she says, "You're not sleeping in this bed tonight." He makes his way downstairs with a candle, sleeps on a chair, misses work in the morning, loses the job at the cement factory, and we're back on the dole again. That's the only paragraph that's on page 112 of this one. That's book 1. Here's book 2. That night, after Ma had gone to work, I stayed awake well past midnight, watching MTV to spite her. I didn't hear her engine approach outside, didn't hear the brake crunch or the car door slam, or any of the Pavlovian triggers that usually warned me to turn the radio down and change the channel. For these occasions, I kept a Cosmos tape in the VCR. So if I were watching anything verboten, I could switch back to our approved TV chaperone, Carl Sagan, and Ma would never know. But getting caught was inevitable under Ma's surveillance. And just as Aeon Flux somersaulted across the screen in her bondage harness, legs spread eagles, breasts like 2 stiff torpedoes, I felt the rocking chair pull back. I knew it was over before I had time to switch to Carl's model of a Tesseract. That night, Ma was on the phone to Baba, arranging a ticket for me to leave. That's book 2. And the final one, book 3, page 112, only has 1 paragraph. Also, it says, "For a few minutes more, I sat still in my doorway, watching the sun glide into place, thinking about the call to Regina I'd be making that day. Behind me, Billy was on her last song. I picked up the refrain, humming a few bars. Her voice sounded different to me now. Beneath the layers of hurt, beneath the ragged laughter, I heard a willingness to endure, and make music that wasn't there before." So those are 3 memoirs that I was looking at for Nonfiction November. Based on the paragraphs that I just read, are any of these books that you would choose as prize contenders, or books that you would want to read as soon as possible? Let me know. Let me know down in the comments which one you prefer, just based on that. But then I'll tell you what they are. Book number 1, with the mom and dad fighting. So the dad sleeps on the chair, oversleeps, and loses his job, and so they have to go back on welfare, is Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt, and this one was a Pulitzer Prize winner. So it should be no surprise if you really liked that paragraph. The beauty about that writing is that even though it was just a short paragraph, you kind of felt like you were in that place. Watching these 2 children squabble, watching the father and mother have their little issue, and the dad going off to sleep on the chair. That is something that you could see happen. And that's the beauty of really good writing, that the author is able to paint this picture with just a few words or sentences. So that is Frank McCourt's Angela's Ashes. That was book 1. Book 2 is a memoir called The Girl Who Fell to the Earth by Sofia Almara. And this is a book that I got from the library. I still haven't read it. This is the one with the girl hiding what she's watching on TV from her mom and having this backup video that she could pop in and switch over so that the mom would think she's watching something that she wasn't. And I think that every teenager or adults who can remember their teenage years, because sometimes we conveniently forget what we used to do, I think everyone can kind of identify with this hiding some of your interests from your parents because we were just afraid to let them know the things that we're curious about. And this drew me in. This paragraph actually drew me in. So I haven't read this one yet, but now I'm looking forward to it because I actually like the writing in this one, even though I probably don't like it as much as this. But the final one, book 3, with Billie Holiday playing in the background and the author getting inspiration to endure and make music that hadn't been made before. That line made me think about someone doing something groundbreaking, someone about to make history. And so it should come as no surprise to you that that was Dreams from My Father by Barack Obama. This was his best-selling memoir about growing up, the son of an African immigrant father and a white mother from the Midwest, the life that he led, and how these beginnings, how this background propelled him to becoming the person that we know, 44, first black president of the United States, and all the other groundbreaking things that he did. Even though it was just a paragraph, I really like the wording, but definitely of the 3 of them, I would say that the strongest was definitely Angela's Ashes. And so since this was the Pulitzer Prize winning memoir of the group, I am not surprised there. So that's the page 112 tag, Nonfiction November Memoir Edition. I'm probably going to do this tag several times for several different genres, maybe to compare 3 books that are from a similar genre and kind of just see how that randomly selected page compares over 3 different works that deal with very similar topics. So that is today's video. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment down below if you've read any of these books and you want to chat about them, or let me know which one of these passages you preferred before or after you learn the identity of the authors. So thanks for watching. Leave me a comment down below, and until next time, happy reading. Bye.